Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling AI in medicine,
Oh, yeah,
which, let's face it, is kind of the hot topic in healthcare right now.
for sure. Tons of buzz.
We've got a whole stack of research papers to dig into, and we'll break down the key findings and introduce you to the brilliant minds behind them,
Love it.
and basically try to give you a sense of where all of this is headed. You know what's really cool about this batch of papers?
What's that?
They touch on so many different areas of medicine. Diagnosis, treatment, even things like clinician burnout.
It really shows you how AI is poised to impact the entire healthcare landscape.
Totally. Okay, so first up is a paper called AI-Enhanced Diagnosis of Peyronie's Disease, a novel approach using computer vision. And this team, I'm going to try to get through all these names.
Go for it.
Cancer Answer. Empowering cancer care with advanced large language models.
This one is by Aniket Duroy and Subhan Karmeti, and they're specifically looking at GI cancers.
Right, where early detection is so critical. So
Exactly.
what's their approach?
Okay, so they're using these things called LLMs. Have you heard of those?
I have, but for our listeners who might not be familiar,
Sure, LLMs stand for large language models. And basically, they're these super advanced AI systems that can understand and generate human language, like GPT 3.5 Turbo, for example.
oh, okay, so they're using these LLMs to help with cancer care,
Exactly. The idea is to use them to answer really complex questions about cancer quickly and accurately.
like an on-call cancer expert who's read every medical textbook.
Pretty much. And they've actually tested it against human experts, comparing the AI's answers to those of real doctors. And the AI is doing really well in terms of giving complete and accurate answers.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah, it's definitely promising. They have these two metrics, A1 and A2. So A1 basically measures how thorough the answer is compared to like a gold standard answer. And A2 looks at how accurate the language is.
And what were their scores?
They got a 0.546 for A1 and 0.881 for A2, which is pretty good, especially considering how complex these cancer questions can be.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. In cases like GI cancer, where time is of the essence, having access to that kind of quick, reliable information could be huge.
Absolutely. Life-saving even.
All right, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about something that's a major concern for doctors: burnout. This next paper is called In-Context Learning for Preserving Patient Privacy, a framework for synthesizing realistic patient portal messages.
Yeah, this one is really interesting. The authors are Joseph Gatto Parker Siegmiller, Timothy E. Burdick, and Sarah Masood Prayam.
And they're tackling the issue of all those patient messages flooding doctors' inboxes, right?
Exactly. It's a huge problem contributing to stress and burnout. And they've come up with a pretty clever solution.
Which is,
They've developed this AI system that can generate realistic patient messages. But here's the catch. The messages are completely synthetic. They're not from real patients.
oh, wow, so it's like a simulation almost.
Yeah, like a practice run for real patient interactions,
Huh.
but without using any actual patient data.
Smart. And that means they're addressing those privacy concerns, right?
Oh, absolutely. They were very intentional about that. They designed this to be fully HIPAA compliant, so patient data is protected.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, so doctors could use this to test out different communication strategies or train new staff, all while protecting patient privacy. It's a win-win.
Okay, on to something that affects every patient: medical records. This paper, GuidelineGuard, an agentic framework for medical note evaluation with guideline adherence by MD Rajiv Sherrier, introduces a tool that can make a big difference in how those notes are written.
This is a cool one. So this tool uses LLMs to analyze medical notes
What for?
to make sure they're actually following guidelines from organizations like the WHO and the CDC. Think of it like a spell check, but for medical accuracy.
Oh, wow, that's clever.
Yeah, it's like having a second set of expert eyes looking over every note, catching potential errors or inconsistencies before they become a problem.
I mean, that could be huge for patient safety. Right.
Exactly. Reducing errors means improving diagnoses, treatment plans, everything. It has this ripple effect of positive impact.
Now, this next one is kind of mind-blowing. Voice EHR, introducing multimodal audio data for health. The other list is long, but it's worth mentioning them all.
Okay, let's hear it.
James Annabelle, Hannah Huthming, Lee, Lindsay Hazen, Veronica Edaud, Dominique Nebadiz, Yen Min, Lamhang Dingwin, Fukong, Michael Kleinman, Shelley Ost, Christopher Jackson, Laura Sprayberry, Sharon, Ilangovan, Balaji, Krishna, Lee, Axt Ayon, Lena Iqbal Aliazar, Lenny Ikwadi, Stefan Jansen, Richard Induezu, Carice Garcia, Jeffrey Plum, Jacqueline Brenner, Miranda Song, Emily Ricotta, David Clifton, C. Louise Thwaites, Yelbin Susan, and Bradford Wood.
Wow, that is a lot of names.
I know. It really highlights how much collaboration goes into this kind of groundbreaking research.
For sure.
So what do they do?
Okay, so they actually created an app that lets people record their health information just by talking.
Wait, so instead of typing everything into an electronic health record, you just talk to the app.
Exactly. They answer a series of guided questions. It's designed to be really user-friendly.
That's pretty incredible. And what happens to that voice data?
This is where it gets really cool. They can analyze your voice, your breathing, even subtle speech patterns to potentially detect health issues way earlier than we can now.
No way. Really?
Yeah. It's cutting-edge stuff. And think about the potential impact, especially for people who might not have easy access to healthcare.
Yeah, like in remote or underserved communities. This could be huge.
Exactly. Imagine being able to get screened for certain conditions just by using your phone. It's game-changing.
Okay, let's talk about something we all struggle with:
Oh.
getting reliable medical information. This paper, MedBot, an AI-powered assistant to provide accurate and reliable medical information by Ahan Bhatt and Nandan Vakila, introduces a solution that could be a game changer.
They've created this AI-powered chatbot called MedBot.
Oh, cool. So it's like having your personal medical expert right in your pocket.
Pretty much. You ask it a question about your health, and it pulls information from reputable medical sources using advanced AI.
So no more Googling symptoms and getting freaked out by unreliable websites.
Exactly. MedBot is designed to give you accurate, trustworthy answers, backed by real science.
I love it. And how does it actually work?
Well, they're combining the power of LMs with some sophisticated data processing techniques, including something called AutoGPTQ. It's all designed to ensure that you're getting the most reliable information possible.
So you're getting cutting-edge AI, but with a focus on accuracy and trustworthiness.
Exactly. It's the best of both worlds.
Now, we've been talking about all the positive potential of AI in healthcare, but it's important to remember that we need to be smart about how we develop and test these systems.
Right. We can't just assume they're going to work perfectly out of the box.
This next paper, Comprehensive and Practical Evaluation of Retrieval Augmented Generation Systems for Medical Question Answering, dives into that very issue.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one. The authors are Nigia Trungo Chin Van Nguyen, Frank Dernencourt, and Tin Hoon Nguyen.
And they're basically putting these medical question answering AI systems through the ringer.
Exactly. They're doing rigorous testing to see how they hold up in real-world scenarios.
So what do they find?
Well, one of the key findings is that even the most advanced AI models still have some trouble with misinformation and all the noise that exists in medical data.
Oh, wow. So even AI can get tricked.
It's a good reminder that we're still in the early stages here,
Huh.
and that we need to keep pushing for better testing and development to make sure these systems are truly reliable before we start using them in healthcare settings.
Makes sense. We don't want to rush into anything and put patients at risk.
Absolutely.
Okay, last but not least, we've got a paper that tackles the ever-growing mountain of data in healthcare, optimizing automatic summarization of long clinical records using dynamic context extension, testing, and evaluation of the MBCE method.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I know, right? The authors are Gwaking Zankeda Fukuyama Kazumasa Kishimoto and Tomohiro Kuroda.
And what are they looking at?
So they've developed a way to automatically summarize those massive medical records
Really?
using a smaller, more accessible LLM, which is great because it means this technology could be more widely available.
Oh, for sure. Not every hospital has the resources for those massive supercomputer-level AI systems.
Exactly. So instead of doctors spending hours sifting through pages and pages of records, AI could pull out the key points for them.
That would free up so much time for patient care.
Right. It's all about making things more efficient and effective.
Totally. And they're getting great results, too, proving that you don't always need the biggest, most complex AI to solve real-world problems. Sometimes a clever approach with more accessible technology is all you need.
That's a good point. So we've covered a lot of ground here just in this first batch of papers.
Yeah, it's amazing how much is happening in AI for healthcare right now.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Exactly. There's so much more to explore. You know what's really exciting to me? It's this whole idea of personalized medicine. Like, imagine a world where treatments are tailored to your individual, genetic makeup, your lifestyle, your medical history.
I mean, that sounds straight out of science fiction.
Right. But AI is making it more and more possible.
So we're not just treating the disease, we're treating the individual.
Exactly. And AI is really good at that. Analyzing tons of data, figuring out what works best for each person.
Okay, but I got to admit, the idea of AI making these big decisions about my health, it's a little scary. How do we know we can trust these systems?
That's a really good question. And it's something we need to be thinking about all the time, as we develop these AI tools. But I think it's important to remember that AI is just that. It's a tool. It's not making decisions on its own.
So it's more like AI is assisting human doctors, not replacing them.
Exactly. Think of it as a partnership. AI can handle those really complex calculations, analyze tons of data, help doctors make more informed decisions.
So it's about combining the best of both worlds, human expertise and AI's analytical power.
Right. And I think that partnership will lead to better outcomes for patients. Imagine a world where doctors have more time to actually listen to their patients, answer their questions, explain things clearly.
I mean, that sounds like the ideal doctor-patient relationship.
It does, right? And AI can help make that a reality.
So what does this all mean for the future of healthcare? What kind of world are we moving towards?
I think we're moving towards a world where healthcare is more proactive, more personalized, more precise. Imagine a future where AI helps us prevent diseases before they even develop,
Wow.
where treatments are tailored to our individual needs, and where we have access to the best medical information 24/7.
I like the sound of that, but it also sounds incredibly complex.
It is, but I think it's achievable. We have a lot of the pieces in place. The technology is advancing rapidly.
Yeah.
What we need now is collaboration, innovation, and a shared commitment to using this technology for good.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm feeling optimistic. But what about the challenges ahead? What are some of the hurdles we still need to overcome to make this vision a reality?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is data. As we talked about earlier, AI algorithms are only as good as the data they're trained on. So we need to make sure that the data is high quality, that it's standardized, that it's accessible.
And that it's representative of the diverse population we're trying to serve.
Exactly. We can't have AI systems that perpetuate existing biases or inequalities.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about the people behind it, the choices we make, the values we embed in these systems.
Right. We need to have open and honest conversations about these issues. We need to involve diverse voices in the development and deployment of AI systems. Patients, healthcare providers, ethicists, policymakers.
So it's team effort.
It has to be. We need to work together to create a framework for ethical AI development and use in healthcare.
And what about the role of regulation? Do we need more rules and guidelines for AI in healthcare?
Absolutely. As AI becomes more integrated into healthcare, we need clear standards to ensure patient safety and responsible use. We can't just let these technologies run wild.
So we need to strike a balance between fostering innovation and protecting patients.
Right. It's a delicate balance, but it's one that we must achieve. We need to be proactive in addressing the potential risks of AI, while still allowing this technology to flourish and improve healthcare for everyone.
Well said.
Okay.
I'm feeling inspired, but also a little overwhelmed. This is a lot to think about.
It is. But it's also exciting. We're living through a technological revolution that has the potential to transform healthcare as we know it.
And it sounds like we have a lot of work to do to make sure that transformation is a positive one.
We do. But I'm optimistic. I believe that by working together, we can harness the power of AI to create a healthcare system that is more accurate, more efficient, more equitable, and more accessible for all.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So what are some specific areas where you see AI having the greatest impact in the near future? Like what's on the horizon?
Well, one area that I'm really excited about is medical imaging. AI algorithms are already incredibly good at analyzing images, like X-rays, CT scans, MRIs.
Yeah, we touched on that a little earlier with that Voice EHR paper.
Right, but think about the potential here. You go in for a routine scan, and the AI flags a tiny abnormality that your doctor might have missed. That early detection could be life-saving.
Wow, that's powerful.
And it's not just about detecting diseases. It's also about helping doctors make better treatment decisions, providing them with more information to guide their choices.
So AI is like this super-powered second opinion.
Exactly. And that can lead to more accurate diagnoses, more targeted treatments, and ultimately better outcomes for patients.
What other areas are you excited about?
Another area that's really taking off is drug discovery. AI is revolutionizing the way we identify and develop new medications.
Oh, wow. So AI is helping us find new cures.
It is, and it's a game changer. Traditionally, drug development has been a really slow and expensive process, but AI is speeding things up dramatically.
How so?
Well, AI can analyze massive databases of chemical compounds and biological data to identify potential drug candidates much faster than humans can. It can also help predict which drugs are most likely to be effective and safe, which reduces the time and cost of clinical trials.
So AI is not just helping us find new drugs, it's helping us find them faster and more efficiently.
Exactly. And that means new treatments for diseases that were once considered incurable could become available much sooner.
That's incredible. It's like AI is unlocking the secrets of medicine at warp speed.
It really is. And it's not just about finding new drugs. It's also about personalizing existing treatments. Making sure that patients get the right medication at the right dose.
Right. Pharmacogenomics.
Yeah.
Using genetics to tailor treatment.
Exactly. AI can help doctors choose the right medication and the right dosage for each individual patient based on their unique genetic makeup and other factors.
It's like custom tailoring medicine to your individual needs.
Precisely. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. AI is also being used to develop new surgical techniques, create personalized prosthetics, and even design smarter medical devices.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. The possibilities seem endless.
They do. And that's what makes this field so exciting.
But with all this amazing technology comes a lot of responsibility, right? We need to make sure we're using it wisely.
Absolutely. It's crucial that we develop and use AI in a way that's equitable and benefits all of humanity.
Well said. So how do we do that? How do we ensure that AI is a force for good in healthcare?
I think it starts with education and awareness. We need to have open and honest conversations about the potential benefits and risks of AI in healthcare. We need to involve all stakeholders in these discussions: patients, healthcare providers, researchers, policymakers, the public.
So it's about building a shared understanding and a common vision for the future.
Exactly. And it's about setting clear ethical guidelines for AI development and use in healthcare. We need to make sure that these technologies are used in a way that respects patient autonomy, privacy, and safety.
Those are essential principles.
Absolutely. And it's about fostering a culture of responsible innovation. We need to encourage researchers and developers to think critically about the ethical implications of their work and to prioritize patient well-being above all else.
It sounds like we have a lot of work to do.
We do. But I'm confident that we can rise to the challenge. We have a unique opportunity to shape the future of healthcare. And I believe that with careful planning and a commitment to ethical principles, we can harness the power of AI to create a healthier and more equitable world.
I'm feeling inspired. Thanks for sharing your insights and your optimism. This has been an incredible deep dive.
It's been my pleasure. I'm always excited to talk about the potential of AI in healthcare.
And we're grateful for your expertise. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We've talked about all the amazing potential of AI in medicine, but I'm wondering, what are your hopes and fears for the future of AI in healthcare? What keeps you up at night?
Oh, wow. That's a big question. It's kind of like a coin with two sides, You've got all this incredible potential, but also these big what ifs.
Yeah, exactly. On the one hand, we've got the possibility of earlier diagnoses, more personalized treatments, maybe even preventing diseases altogether.
Right. And think about the access issue. AI could bring quality healthcare to people who've never had it before, like remote areas, developing countries.
That's a powerful thought. To have medical advice or even get screened for conditions just using your phone.
Exactly. It could be life-changing. But then there's the flip side, the fear that AI will replace doctors altogether.
The robots are taking over scenario.
Right. And I get why people worry about that. We all want that human connection with our healthcare providers.
Nobody wants to feel like just another data point.
Totally. And that's why it's so important to keep emphasizing that AI is a tool. It's meant to help doctors, not replace them.
Like a superpowered assistant.
Exactly. It can handle the data crunching the number analysis, freeing up doctors to spend more time actually talking to their patients.
More time for the human side of medicine.
Exactly. But here's another thing that keeps me up at night. Bias.
AI bias.
Yeah. These algorithms are trained on data. And if that data is biased, the AI will be biased too.
Oh, wow. So it could actually make healthcare less fair.
Potentially. And that's a huge concern. We need to be so careful about the data we use to train these systems and constantly monitor them for bias.
It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Not at all. It's an ongoing process. And then, of course, there's the data privacy issue.
Right, with all this sensitive medical information being used by AI.
Exactly. We need to make sure that data is secure and that patients have control over how their information is used.
So it's not just about the technology itself. It's about all these ethical considerations too.
Absolutely. It's about using AI responsibly and making sure it benefits everyone.
Well said. So looking ahead, what's your best guess about the future of AI in healthcare? What's your vision?
I think we're headed towards a future where AI is just seamlessly integrated into everything, from prevention to diagnosis to treatment.
Just part of the background.
Yeah. And patients will have more control over their own health information, more access to personalized support, and doctors will have these amazing AI tools to help them make the best decisions.
It's a pretty hopeful vision.
It is. But it's going to take work. We need to keep having these conversations, asking tough questions, and working together to make sure AI is used ethically and effectively.
Absolutely. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive. So much to think about.
It has been fun. AI in medicine is such a fascinating field. It's changing so rapidly.
And for you listening, we encourage you to keep learning, keep exploring. The future of healthcare is being shaped right now, and your voice matters.
That's right. Don't be afraid to ask questions, get involved, and be part of the conversation.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI in medicine. We'll see you next time.